Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Cote, first-year grad of Soul-Centered Living 1 and currently a student in Year 2. And when I initially filled out my application as a first-year student here at USM, I was asked what my goals were, both personally and spiritually. And two words came to mind: emotional freedom. I would say I've always been a spiritual seeker, be that someone who has felt at times at odds with my humanness. And when I talk about humanness, I'm talking about the various degrees of suffering associated with things like self-imposed judgments and misbeliefs and limitations. Feelings of anxiousness and insecurity and even self-victimization were emotions that were all too familiar to me. And I really yearned for a spiritual practice that would deeply ground me and give me perhaps autonomy from these states of mind. And I just want to share that over these last 10 months as a student here in Year 1, I've experienced what I can only describe as deep yet subtle shifts internally inside of me, whereby circumstances and situations that had once triggered and deeply upset me no longer stirred me that way. In fact, finding this kind of leverage has given me an opportunity to lean more deeply into my joy. And leaning into that joy, as I expressed to a fellow classmate recently, I feel as if I'm now embarking on perhaps the greatest love affair of my life with myself. And I don't say with myself from a place of ego. I'm speaking directly to my soul, my loving essence, where I now have access to that emotional freedom that I've long been seeking. I work professionally in the entertainment industry as a composer and as a writer, and I have to say that over the course of this class year, to see my growth and my creativity has really been really exciting to me. And I have to say I really love the ideal, that the USM ideal that I can reframe all of my life's experiences as opportunities in service to my soul's growth and awakening. So it came as no small surprise to me that during the course of the school year, out of the blue, I received a call from a friend asking me if I would mentor her 14-year-old son in preparation for auditioning for a 4-year scholarship at the LA County High School for the Arts. And my first reaction to this was one of resistance because of the high level of responsibility involved. But as I sat with my resistance and worked with it, I realized it was rooted in fear, and therefore I had to do this. So we began working together, he and I made it my heartfelt intention to really bring into play some of the qualities of USM, namely those qualities such as self-accountability, enthusiasm, purpose, humility, and of course, joy. I'm happy to say that as a result of our working together, he did get the scholarship. And but on a much deeper level, it occurred to me after one class weekend that my sole reason for really doing this was to engage in a deeper inner communion with my own 14-year-old self. That during those 6 months that we had worked together, I was actively healing and connecting with those aspects of my inner child that I had long forgotten or even abandoned. I've also more recently witnessed some of my heartfelt dreams really manifesting in ways that have completely transcended my expectations. So my joy at experiencing this is matched only by my deep gratitude to USM for the essential part of my life that it now is. Thank you.